Okej, witam ponownie. Tym razem w trochę na innym tle, bo jest jeszcze jasno dla odmiany. Tak, z powodu koronawirusa siedzimy w domu wszyscy. Znaczy, no, siedzimy w domu jak siedzimy w domu. Ja mam teraz nocki po prostu na piekarni i tyle. Więc mogę sobie ponagrywać rano. Z tego co pamiętam, to miałem mindfuck ostatnim razem, jak tutaj byłem, bo nie potrafiłem znaleźć odpowiedniej kontradykcji w tych zdaniach od niej. Dobra, ja sobie muszę przypomnieć w ogóle, na czym stanęliśmy.
I immediately noticed the blood traces in the jar. While it was dark in the room, I didn't have time to check it out. To be safe, I wiped away the blood. The fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. All I could think about was wiping them clean before they were discovered.
A chwila. To ma odciski palców Emy, a nie... jej, Lany, tylko że... no dobra. Przyciśniemy ją w takim razie jeszcze raz na każdym zdaniu, bo nie pamiętam jak to... co tu było ostatnio. So the jar was already broken.
It's a miracle that thing hadn't broken Ariel.
It certainly looks as feeble as this offense's case. But not as feeble as the judge's judgment. You were an ace detective who never missed a detail. Do you really expect us to believe you didn't investigate what was written on the jar pieces?
Normally I would have.
It was dark in the room, okay? So you didn't know your sister's name was written on the jar?
No, if I had known, I would have gathered all the pieces and ground them to dust.
Well, that helps my case.
Lana, you'd do that for me?
It seems you two might make up yet.
Anyway, I just barely had enough time to move the body as it was.
If someone happened upon the scene, you'd lose your chance to erase the evidence. You must have been in a hurry.
I was. I knew I had to destroy the evidence before anyone came.
This is rather shocking.
To be safe, I wiped away the blood.
I'm afraid this action of yours reveals what really happened. What do you mean? If you really thought Drake killed Prosecutor Marshall, you wouldn't have wiped away the blood.
What else could I have done in that situation?
Lana,
I only had a few moments. There wasn't enough time for me to do anything else but gather up the pieces.
fragments were large, so I'm sure I got them all. But how could you see with the power out? It could have been pitch black. It should have been pitch black in that office.
A detective is always prepared, Mr. Wright. Even now, I carry a pocket light and a camera with me. Even I carry a bottle of emergency luminol wherever I go. I never miss anything. I got every last piece.
You've got every one piece. Ah. Aj, nie to. Nie zebrałeś wszystkich odłamków, bo my wiemy, że jeden odłamek był w sejfie, prawda? Final fragment found in Chief's gun safe. A, tu cię mam. Miss Sky, I believe this jar conceals a truth even you were unaware of.
What?
We found the final piece of the jar in Chief Gun's safe.
In the chief's safe? But how?
I knew it, she really didn't know.
There's something even more disturbing about that final piece. There was
Still blood on it.
But the witness just testified that she got her every last piece and wiped the blood off them.
Yes, which leaves us with only one explanation. On the night prosecutor Marshall was murdered. Xerox.pl, witam. You were not the first one to show up on the scene. Chief Gunn got there before you. Rubble, 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 rubble. Yep, yep, yep.
But could the defendant have simply missed a piece?
I'm afraid that's unlikely. The pieces are too big for anyone to miss, let alone an ace detective.
That may well be, but everyone makes mistakes. Even I once wasted an entire day.
Co tak wcześnie? Koronawirus, co ci mam powiedzieć? Mój tryb pracy zmienił się właśnie na tryb pracy nocnej. Od 16 do 24 jestem na piekarni u matki, bo pracownicy do pracy nie chcą przychodzić. Ja też nie mam po co jeździć do Katowic, bo wszyscy klienci nam odmówili pokazów, odbioru maszyn, wpuszczenia nas na zakład, także miałem do wyboru albo się wybrać cały urlop, albo pójść do matki na piekarnię, żeby nie wybierać urlopu. Także przez ten tydzień streamy będą od 10 do mniej więcej 13, 14 za dnia.
Looking for my dentaries.
Oh. Have you forgotten, Your Honor? When this witness arrived at the scene, the jar was already broken.
Oh, that.
There's no way a name could have been written on a shattered jar. Ty masz wolny jeszcze miesiąc? No widzisz, brawo ty. Another person discovered the scene prior to the witness.
I hope you're not implying this person was Chief Gunn. At the time he was looking for Drake downstairs. Besides, even if he was there first, why would he...
The question is, if he did arrive there first, why did he hide that factor for 2 years? Przez wirusa, no wiem, domyśliłem się, że przez wirusa. Well, Your Honor, can you answer us that?
No. No.
What the fuck? Czemu on się zachowuje? Czemu już nie ma Red Dead Redemption 2? Bo chciałem małą odskocznię od Red Redemption 2, bo przez ostatnie 3 czy 4 streamy grałem tylko w Red Dead Redemption 2. Będę teraz codziennie robić inną grę. Zresztą może dzisiaj uda się skończyć tą ostatnią sprawę, którą już kończę od ostatniego razu, jak grałem w Phoenixa Wrighta. Także jak skończymy to przed 13, to możemy się przenieść na Red Dead Redemption 2 później. Nie widzę problemu.
Wait, I'm not the one with the trial.
Sędzio. Damangand arrived at the crime scene prior to the witness. He proceeded to break the jar. Purposefully hid one of the broken pieces. Question: what is this action called? Fabrication of evidence. Kiedy będzie sąsiad? Nie wiem, czy... Chyba dopiero jak się skończy epidemia. Też siedzi przestraszony w domu.
But why would Chief Gun do that?
In light of what happened afterwards, isn't it clear?
What happened afterwards?
Discovering the scene, Lana Skye believed her sister Emma killed the victim. Determined to help her sister, she sought Gunn's aid. Lending her his aid, Gunn helped her create evidence that incriminated Drake, sparing Emma. And therein lies the reason. The reason why Miss Skye became the chief's puppet.
No, I did it on my own. Please just stop trying to protect the chief. I can't watch you suffer anymore for my sake. No, you don't. It wasn't you. You didn't kill anyone. Don't believe anything Mr. Wright says. Defense attorneys may have the most foul lies to defend their clients.
Full lies! Imagine that coming from my own client!
I guess you do seem the type who likes to twist the truth.
What? Wait a minute. Twist the truth. What if... We're still smack dab in the middle of Gunn's trap. Co? Smack dab? Co znaczy słowo dab? We're still smack dab in the middle of Gunn's help. Czyli jesteśmy dalej... czyli dalej jesteśmy uwięzieni, albo dalej poruszamy się wewnątrz pułapki, którą zastawił Gunn. Prawdopodobnie coś takiego będzie tu chodzić.
There's something wrong, Mr. Wright.
Lana? Maybe right after all. What do you mean, right?
So you do tell full lies then, Mr. Wright?
Miss Skye, please testify once more.
But...
If evidence was fabricated behind your back, then Emma's accidental killing of Prosecutor Marshall might also be a lie.
But... You do remember knocking over Mr. Marshall?
Miss Skye, if you will.
I can't.
There's nothing to be afraid of anymore. This cross-examination may not change a thing. However, there is a possibility that it will, if you tell the truth.
Very well. I'll testify about what I really saw.
Yep.
Alright, the witness may testify once more for the final time.
Actual crime scene.
When I arrived, I found Mr. Marshall's body impaled on that suit of armor sword. Emma and Drake were lying unconscious on the floor nearby. When I saw what happened, I thought she did it. That's why I erased all the evidence that linked her to the murder. I had Chief Gans help me remove the body from the sword and carry it. But if it all really was a fabrication, Emma might be innocent.
Unbelievable, the body was impaled on the armor sword.
You were the only one who saw that, if only you had proof.
Actually, I do have proof.
Who?
I gave it to Mr. Wright just this morning.
What, to me?
It's a picture I took of the crime scene as I encountered it. I thought it might be needed.
But I don't remember receiving a picture like that.
Lana must have known. See, Mr. Wright, she really does have faith in you.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please present this picture.
Ale ja nie posiadam żadnego zdjęcia, what the fuck? I don't remember receiving any pictures from Lana.
She said she gave it to you this morning, right?
I seem to remember getting something from her then.
Let's check that evidence again. There must be a picture in there somewhere.
To dostałem. Evidence law. From Miss Sky explains 2 rules of evidence law. Oh! Hey, there's a picture here.
Oh my. This is the actual crime scene. No other detective saw the crime scene like this. Because I contracted criminal affairs only after I had rearranged everything.
Crime scene photo from the case 2 years ago taken. Gasp.
Mr. Wright, that piece cut out from his vest, could that be...
The cloth we found inside Chief Gunn's safe. What's this?
This is a handprint, isn't it? That cloth, it had fingerprints in it. Whoever fingerprint those are must be the real murderer.
What? But those fingerprints are yours!
Why are your lips turning all purple, Mr. Wright?
Anyway, let's get on with this cross-examination. So long as you tell the truth, we should be able to flush out the real murderer.
Very well. The defense may now begin its cross-examination.
Actual crime scene. What the fuck? Guns!
Come now, Angie. This is the purest excuse for a trial I've ever seen.
Chief Gunn.
What, now you want to make me out of the bad guy too? If so, I'd like to put in a word or two in my defense.
I'm afraid it's too late for that.
What?
You already declined to testify. That means you forfeit your right to make statements of any sort. Czyli to jest ta konsekwencja, która niesie ze sobą odmowa składania zeznań. W ogóle jego oczy wyglądają, jakby był robotem. Ma białe kropki wewnątrz swojej tej... This must be that risk we were talking about earlier. Just sit back, relax, and enjoy the sound of the noose tightening around your own neck. Noose, czyli ta... lina. Pętla. What the fuck? Czy go piorun palnął?
So what? You think I'm worried? Sorry to disappoint you, but I don't need to make any statements.
What do you mean?
The evidence will do all talking for me. Even if I can't testify, I can still present evidence.
Yes, that's true. What, you mean? You still have some conclusive evidence?
No, I don't, but someone does.
Someone?
So, what's your excuse, writer? Why have you been keeping quiet about it? You do have something to show us, right? Something that proves who knocked over Neil Marshall, causing his death. Conclusive evidence that leaves no room for doubt.
Is this true, Mr. Wright?
If I show that piece of evidence now, Emma's sure to be made out as the murderer.
Mr. Wright, if you have any more evidence, present it now. And if you try to conceal anything, you will be the one appearing before the Board of Inquiries.
What do I do now? I better think this through carefully. I can't afford to make the wrong decision. Should I present this piece of evidence? The one that shows who really killed Prosecutor Marshall. Show cannot show. Jest tak jak on mówi, jeżeli pokażemy ten skrawek materiału, to Emma prawdopodobnie zostanie okrzyknięta winną. Natomiast jeżeli tego nie pokażemy, będziemy oskarżeni o ukrywanie dowodów. Nic, mamy save'a. Spróbujmy pokazać ten dowód. Yes, Your Honor, I do have further evidence. Alright, the time's finally come to show it to them. Those prints have got to be the chiefs.
Now then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence that shows who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall. It's a piece of leather cloth.
Yes, it most likely was cut from the victim's vest near his chest. What's this? There's a big handprint on it.
Surely it must have been left on the cloth by whoever shoved the victim into the sword.
Whose fingerprints are on this?
I'm sure Wright has checked, haven't you?
Well, whose are they?
They're Miss Sky's. Miss Emma Sky's. What? They're mine? So I really do it.
See? I told you it was conclusive.
But this was found in your safe. That means it's possible you forged it.
I don't know what you're talking about. I don't remember any cloth in my safe. Do you really expect me to believe that?
But... Give it up, Mr. Wright. It's over. You shouldn't have presented that. By presenting that evidence, you tied Miss Emma and Neil Marshall's death. No.
It appears we have our killer.
No. No. Game over. Everything's hidden at that point. In the end, Lana alone was found guilty on all. No. Czyli nie mamy pokazywać tego dowodu, okej? Dobrze, że zrobiłem save'a. Tak też myślałem, że mam tego nie pokazywać, no ale... Cannot show evidence. Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time.
What? You lie.
Chief Guns?
Chief Guns?
You opened my safe. I know you took what was inside.
Przyznał się, że...
The conclusive evidence.
I don't know what you're talking about. Zagraliśmy jego własną bronią, okej. Mr. Wright, why don't you show them? We found it together.
Ah, I see. It's because you know the truth, don't you? You know whose fingerprints are on it. That's why you want to present it.
What are you talking about, Gigant?
Can't you figure it out? Take a good look at this picture. See the victim's vest? Notice anything odd about the chest area?
It looks like part of it have been cut out for some reason.
You mean you had this in your safe?
What? That means you, the chief of police, have been concealing evidence. This is going to be the biggest scandal in the history of the police department.
Impressive. To be honest, I didn't think you had the gal, writer. Well, I can't just let you pin me up as the murderer. I'll tell you what really happened.
What do you mean? You admit to it?
Ale już odmówiłeś zeznawania. Dlaczego nagle masz zeznawać?
I was the first person to arrive at the crime scene that day. It then occurred to me that I could use the situation to control Lana.
So you really were manipulating her?
I knew Lana. If I made it look like the blame lay with his sister, that when she saw the scene, she would ask me for my aid.
So you assisted Miss Sky.
I taught her to rearrange all the evidence. I had her plant the knife in the victim's body and move the body across the room.
And I end up using that evidence to get Joe Drake convicted.
When I tampered with the crime scene, I hid 2 pieces of evidence. This was before Lana arrived at the scene, mind you.
2 pieces of evidence? You mean those items in your safe?
But why?
For insurance, of course.
Insurance?
I was sure my plan would work, but it's always best to be prepared for the worst. I wasn't about to let anyone blame me for a murder that Gear committed.
You mean you were calculating that far ahead while forging evidence?
What do you take me for, a fool? I didn't make police chief by dumb luck. See this jaw fragment? I hid the most legible part of Emma's name. I didn't expect Lana to go and wipe the blood of all the pieces.
But you fabricated all the evidence? What's to say you didn't fabricate the message on this jar too?
Ha ha ha. Some people just don't know when to quit, do they? That's why I kept one more item for insurance.
You mean that piece of cloth?
Come on, writer, cough it up already. I know you have it.
What are you waiting for, Mr. Wright? So you admitted then, Chief Gunt, that you were hiding the cloth you cut off of the victim's vest in your safe.
Yes, I admit it. I didn't want to have to do that, being chief and all. It is a lot better than being portrayed as a murderer.
Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say for yourself? Just a moment ago, you say you didn't have any evidence you could present.
Foolish move, writer. You should have shown it then, before it was too late.
It's been a long battle, but the moment of truth has finally arrived. As long as I don't mess up here, victory is mine. Show evidence, cannot show evidence. Myślę, że teraz mam już pokazać ten dowód, ale zrobimy save'a jeszcze raz. Your Honor, I do have evidence to present now.
Alright then, let's see this conclusive evidence. The evidence does not show who actually murdered Prosecutor Marshall.
Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of the victim's vest.
Oh, yes. At least you finally brought it out in the open.
There's a handprint on this piece of cloth.
Your Honor, the prosecution requests that be immediately sent to the lab for analysis. This handprint on the leather, there must have been a strong impact for it to be left so clearly.
You mean...
It could not have been forged. It must be authentic, conclusive evidence. O. Czyli nie mamy pokazywać tego dowodu.
Ha ha ha. You're as slow on the uptake as ever, Wolfie.
What?
Think about it. Wright had all this time to present this evidence. Yet he was reluctant to do so. Why would that be?
You mean you already know? You know whose fingerprints are on that. Mr. Wright, do you really know?
Whoever the fingerprints belong to must be the real murderer. Whose fingerprints are they?
Very well. I'll tell you. It should be okay now. Everything's proceeding as predicted. The person to whom these fingerprints belong to is... Emma.
Emma? Emma Sky?
What? They're mine? I'm sorry, Emma. But why? Why didn't you tell me?
Ah ha 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 ha. You're really something, writer. You knew this girl did it all along. And you still tried to pin the murder on me.
So it's true. Tragic, but true. This girl really did shove Prosecutor Marshall to his death.
How could you monster?
Miss Sky,
You knew whose fingerprints those were all along, yet you acted like she really didn't. Miss Sky, it's not over yet. What? I said this trial isn't over yet.
Yeah, but I'm afraid it is over, boy. Not only this trial, but your career too. You purposely concealed this conclusive evidence. That, my friend, is a serious offense. I'm looking forward to pressing charges after the defendant is convicted. I have your badge, boy. What's the matter? Cat got your tongue? Are you going to tell us how it feels? How it feels to be the one who single-handedly turned a poor little girl into a murderer?
Before I do that, there's just one little thing I have to clear up.
Oh? And what's that?
Who really killed Prosecutor Neil Marshall?
what?
Chief Gund, you are absolutely right. This piece of cloth proves who the real murderer is. Who killed Neil Marshall, you ask?
It was Emma Sky, wasn't it?
I'm afraid that's not possible. You see, this piece of cloth contains a critical contradiction.
What? A contradiction? What is this fool babbling about?
I'm talking about a contradiction. One that proves who the real killer is.
Mr. Wright, this piece of cloth. What could it possibly contradict?
She's gone your tyrannical reign ends here. Behold, the piece of evidence that contradicts this cloth. O, nie zdążyłem. Zrobić save'a, może być nieciekawie. No cóż, jedyne, czego jeszcze nie użyliśmy, to jest te cholerne zdjęcie. I patrząc na te zdjęcie, ta część powinna być cała zakrwawiona, a nie jest. Więc wydaje mi się, że to będzie to zdjęcie.
And what exactly is this supposed to be?
This is the picture Miss Sky took. Take a good look at it. See where the piece of his vest was cut out?
Yes, his shirt is showing underneath. It's hard to make out with all the blood on his vest though.
Exactly my point. His chest is soaked with blood. That's only natural. His lungs, no doubt, were punctured. Blood poured out of his mouth.
Oh, but that piece of cloth. Wait, there's no blood on it.
Since Emma's sky fingerprints are on this cloth, there's no doubt that she shoved the prosecutor aside. However, Mr. Marshall was not impaled on the sword at that time.
No, this is nonsense.
Now then, Chief Gant, let me ask you something. Prosecutor Marshall was not impaled when he was shoved aside. He most likely hit his head on the ground and was knocked out. If so, then tell me, who could it have been? Who could have arrived at the scene before Miss Lana Sky? Pick up the unconscious prosecutor and impale him on the armor sword. Then, to make it look like Emma was responsible for the prosecutor's death, said person proceeded to write her name on the jar with the victim's blood. A jar that they have broke on purpose to leave behind a clue. And make Lana believe her sister did it. Remember what you admitted only moments ago? That you personally cut out this bloodless piece of the victim's vest? Ironic, isn't it? Through the very act of creating insurance, you proved that you were the actual murderer. What the fuck? It's finally all over. Objection. What the fuck?
That was close, right? You almost got me. Sorry, but you'll have to do better than that. I refuse your allegations.
What do you mean you refute his allegations?
You see, that piece of cloth is illegal evidence.
Rumble, rumble, rumble.
Order, order. What nonsense is this?
Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a suspect. Remember, Aji? Ariel or Wright here concealed that piece of cloth. So then, what's your excuse, Writer? You do have some conclusive evidence, don't you?
Your Honor, I don't have any evidence I can present at this point in time. At this point in time.
Well, that's true. The defense did refuse to present evidence.
At that moment, that piece of cloth ceased to be legal evidence.
But that's not fair.
Ha 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 ha! Did you actually think you could best me in court? It looks like the last laugh on you, son.
Rumble, 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 rumble.
I'm afraid Mr. Gaunt's claim is legally correct. Well, Mr. Edgeworth?
True. Illegal evidence cannot be used to convict a person, assumingly, of course, that the evidence is indeed illegal.
Well, Mr. Wright?
It seems at last. Zróbmy save'a jeszcze raz. The time for me to reveal my plan has finally arrived.
Mr. Wright, do you admit to it? That you purposefully and illegally concealed this piece of cloth?
I did not. I admit I refused to present it at one point.
Ah, so the evidence is illegal.
No, it isn't, Mr. Gaunt.
Huh?
It's not that I didn't present evidence then, it's that I couldn't.
What do you mean you couldn't?
There are certain procedures involved when presenting evidence.
Now, Aji, don't listen to his lies. He's nothing but a coward, you can't really believe.
There is only one issue left to be resolved in this trial. Is this evidence legal or not?
Very well, let us settle this once and for all. I really refuse to present evidence. If you can prove your conduct was not in violation of the law, then do so now.
Evidence law? No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. Unregistered evidence presented must be revealed to the case on trial. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. A on sam potwierdził to. Wydaje mi się, że to będzie to. This is my proof, Your Honor. Evidence law.
What's this?
I've done my homework too, Chief. Indeed, Emma's sky fingerprints were on this piece of cloth. However, at that point in time, it was merely a piece of cloth, nothing more.
What?
You see, it's written right here in this book. The second rule of evidence law. Well, second? Ja myślałem, że pierwsza. Rule number 1. No evidence shall be shown without the approval of the police department. I found this piece of evidence myself inside your safe. It goes without saying I did not have approval from the police department. Rule number 2. Unregistered evidence presented must be relevant to the case on trial. And here is the crux on the matter. You see, at the time it was impossible for me to prove the relevance between the cloth and the SL9 incident.
What? What kind of nonsense is this? You want relevancy? Just take one look at this picture and...
Sorry, but can you recall when was that picture presented?
That was shown only a few moments ago.
No.
He's right. At the beginning of today's trial, that piece of cloth was still meaningless. The person who gave it a value as evidence was you, Demon Gaunt. You yourself confessed to a certain truth. Let me verify this once more. On the day of the crime, you personally cut out this piece of cloth of the victim's vest.
Oh yes. No.
It was then that you approved this cloth as conclusive evidence. Yes, you, the chief of police, personally approved this cloth. The only person who could have cut this from the victim's vest is the one who stood before Prosecutor Marshall in his final moments. In other words, the real murderer, and there is only one person who that could be. Demon Gaunt, the killer was you. What the fuck? Ciekawa reakcja.
I knew I should have gotten rid of him. That good-for-nothing scum. For 2 years he's been snooping around the department trying to get something on me. Crimes are being committed every day, yet he insisted on hounding me.
Well, your crime wasn't exactly petty.
He wanted to reinvestigate the case. He recruited Angel Starr, then convicted Bruce Goodman.
Detective Goodman?
Yeah, that's right.
If the evidence is transferred, I'll lose my only chance to find out the truth. Please, you've got to help me.
Goodman turned him down, as he ought to. Still, Jake Marshalls didn't know when to quit.
He stole Goodman's ID card and tried to take the evidence.
Goodman came to me that day. He wanted to file a lost item report. I went with him to the evidence room. Then all of a sudden he decided to speak out. What are you talking about, Goodman?
Can you please reopen the investigation, Chief? We can't transfer the evidence out. There are too many questions left unanswered.
He opened his evidence locker and as he was taking the evidence out, he said,
It's not too late. I'm going to hand all this over to Marshall.
well, to be honest, I was a bit taken aback by his words. I had a bad feeling when he came to see me, but I never thought he'd bring up his own knife. That's when I saw it, that accursed knife. I couldn't just pull it out.
Doing so would only lead to more blood, making it nearly impossible to hide your crime.
Even so, the blood was just pouring out. I didn't know who might stumble in, so I hurried to wipe it out. I was worrying so much about the floor, I didn't realize my fatal mistake.
The bloody handprint on Detective Gumsh's locker.
I used to be known as Crime Computer, but everyone had to start somewhere, I guess. I was too nervous. I had no business doing any of it.
Then you put the body in my car.
I'm sorry, I couldn't think of any other way to move the body. I broke your trunk, but what's the big deal? You make a lot more than us detectives ever will.
Yeah. Leaving the prosecution's score aside, how could you get Miss Sky involved in all of this?
Well, she had as much to lose as I did if the truth came out.
So you took the evidence from Detective Goodman's locker.
I felt bad for having to do it. I also didn't have the time to pick and choose what to take.
So you left the jar fragments and the glove.
Yeah. It looks like I was better off being an investigator of crimes than a committer. They all did their best to get in my way. I've got to hand it to them. They do their jobs well, much to my dismay.
Fake evidence doesn't hold up very well upon close examination. You must have known that.
Tell me, Worthy, why do you stand in court?
Me?
You despise criminals. I can feel it. You and me, we are the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go alone.
Okay.
Well, looks like it's time to say goodbye. Oh, Uji.
What?
Looks like we'll have to cancel that lunch date. Sorry, old friend.
I'm sorry to Lemon Guns. I knew you as you used to be, long ago. You were once a fine investigator and an example to others on the force. I'm sorry to learn that you are no longer that person.
Those days are gone now, Aji. Thanks for all the memories though. Don't worry, you'll be fine. Now you have Wright here. And Worthy. With these two around, you can't go wrong. In fact, I can hear them already. The melodious sounds of a new beginning.
There are two things I want you to understand. Yes? First, your sister never hurt anyone. Second, Damongan betrayed you from the very beginning. You see, Miss Sky, you no longer have any reason to keep silent. You're right. When this trial is over, I'll tell everything. All that I've done these past 2 years. From the time I had Gang help me forge evidence up until today.
So, it seems all the questions raised in this trial have been answered.
I'm sorry, Miss Sky, I couldn't get you out of all your trouble. My, what high standards you have for a rookie. I can see why Mia thought so highly of you. Who knows, a few years from now you just might make it to the top. Pierwszy raz się uśmiechła. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. Miss Sky? And to you too, Mr. Ashworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. Believe me, I know how much of an ordeal it's been for you. It was nothing. Liar. I was worried the pressure might break you. And yet, you rose above it all and guided Mr. Wright to victory. You've done well, Mr. Edgeworth. Stop it, I only did my job.
In light of this case, it seems a good self-examining in order for all of us. Miss Sky,
Yes, Your Honor?
you're innocent of murder, however. Although the chiefs blackmailed you, the fact is you still acted as his accomplice. A trial will be secluded for these crimes at a later date.
Yes, I understand, Your Honor.
Is there something amusing about all of this? Why are you smiling?
It's been a long time, Your Honor, since I felt free of these heavy chains.
Well, this trial has gone for too long already. Regarding the charge of murder,
Ostatnia sprawa zawsze jest najtrudniejsza. Chyba ją właśnie rozwiązaliśmy. Dziękuję za hosta.
this court finds the defendant, Miss Lana Sky,
Not guilty.
Yeah!
Yep.
That is all. This court is adjourned.
At long last, it's finally over. Emma? Why the long face? I'm sorry your sister didn't get completely off the hook, but at least she wasn't convicted for a murder she didn't commit.
No, that's not it. Just now, after the trial ended. I can see why Mia Fey thought so highly of you. I owe you my thanks, Mr. Wright. And to you too, Miss Edgeworth, Mr. Edgeworth. You've suffered every bit as much as I have over these past few days. You've done well. You know, I did my best too. But Lana didn't say a single word to me.
I hope I'm not interrupting anything, boss.
Zawsze w odpowiednim momencie.
Oh, guess I am. I'll come back later.
Wait, Detective Gumshoe, what is it?
You're doing this on purpose, aren't you? Making a detective run all around my own duty. And to top it off, you call me here. I've seen happier people at funerals. Hey, lighten up, boss. I'm only kidding.
Oh, are you here because of my sister again?
Nope, not this time. I came today because of you, Paul.
Me?
That's right. I thought you'd like to see someone.
No.
Lana!
Should you be doing this? She's still under arrest, you know.
Well, I won't tell you if you want. I won't tell if you want.
Emma, I owe you an apology.
It's okay, sis, don't worry about it.
That day 2 years ago, was the first time in my life I ever panicked. It was all I could do to keep myself from screaming. All I could think about was keeping you from getting wrapped up in all that mess.
Sis.
I asked Gantz to help me cover up the truth. I thought I was doing it for your sake, but now I realize I was wrong. I changed after that day. I had to. It was the only way I could make it through the past 2 years. I knew how much I was hurting you by distancing myself, but I couldn't bring myself to tell you what I did. I was scared that you look at me with those eyes of yours. I was scared of how you'd react if you knew.
But sis, you're only doing it for me.
No.
Huh?
I turned my back on you that day. In hiding what I believed to be the truth, I was deceiving you.
Sis.
I'm such a fool. It took me all this time to realize it. Emma, I'm so sorry.
But sis, you don't have to be apologize. I'm happy now.
You're happy?
Of course. You know, sis, I always knew that one day you'd come back. And now you have.
Oh, Emma.
No one can change the past. The only thing we can do is strive to make up for our mistakes. Why must we make up for our mistakes, you ask? Because in doing so, we can find the way back to our rightful path. And it is from that we can move on towards a brighter future. At least that's what I felt watching the two sisters mic up.
Mr. Wright? Mr. Gumshoe?
Oui.
Thank you both for all that you've done. I'm sure we'll meet again someday. Isn't that right, Edgeworth?
Edgeworth?
Stop hiding and come over here.
Z ponurą twarzą jak zwykle. Where was he hiding? I just came to say congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Right, well, I'll be going now.
Mr. Edgeworth, I hope you don't blame yourself for what happened. We were the ones who acted corruptly, not you.
It's too late for me. No matter what anyone may say, I realize today that I can't correct my mistakes.
Mr. Edgeworth,
Not only that, but I don't ever trust myself anymore. Chief Gunn was right.
You despise criminals, I can feel it. You and me, we're the same. One day you'll understand. Oh, believe me, you will. You're just one man. You'll see what it really takes to bring them down once you try to go it alone.
Tak trochę dziwnie jest to napisane. I do despise criminals. I plan to dedicate my entire life to fighting them. But in order to fight crime on my own, I need a weapon. It's scary, but I've known that to be true for quite some time. But Edgeworth, who knows? Given enough time, I might have tried to pull something like Chief Gunn did. That thought terrifies me. That's why I can't continue as a prosecutor.
Edgeworth, don't you understand? Damongard and your mentor, Manfred von Karma, were both the best of the best when it came to fighting crime. But they both made the same mistake. You said, in order to fight a crime on my own, I need a weapon. That may be true, but think back to today's trial. You weren't alone. You were working together with Mr. Wright. And because of that partnership, you were able to present evidence that otherwise would have gone undiscovered. Isn't that right, Mr. Wright?
Huh? What? Yeah. What is this, a pop quiz?
Come on, Mr. Wright, show him what Lana's talking about.
Evidence, huh? Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. Czyżby chodziło o ten skrawek materiału? That might mean something to you, but I don't see how it had anything to do with our partnership. Huh?
Mr. Wright, it seems you still have a lot to learn as well.
I guess it wasn't the right piece of evidence, okay? Spróbujmy innego. Zdjęcie? Nie. Nie save. Też nie. Nie mam pojęcia. Something that neither Edgeworth nor I would have been able to find on our own. Ta lista z dowodami? O, chyba trafiłem. That's the picture I drew. Our counter-attack began with this. You had one half of the evidence list and I had the other. Apart, we wouldn't have been able to completely restore Emma's picture. That didn't just happen by chance, Mr. Edgeworth.
It's time for me to go.
Mr. Edgeworth.
If you'll excuse me. There's still some loose ends that need wrapping up. Take care, Chief Prosecutor.
Edgeworth, what will you do now? Well, whatever you do, just remember, you can let what happened killed the prosecutor in you, or you can let it help you grow. In the end, it's up to you.
I know. It seems I owe you my thanks too, Wright. But what I face now is my problem.
Edgeworth, I'll be waiting for you in court.
Farewell.
I'd better be going too. Okay, but I'll be by to visit soon. It seems we both have a lot to learn and catching up to do. Here, this is a little something for you. Zaś kaczka czy kurczak z lupą. Scientific investigation. It's the first book I ever bought. Study it well. Thanks, sis, I will. And so, another case came to a close. As for the sisters, I have faith. Faith that their lives have only just begun. And as for me, I think it's time I started on a new journey of my own. A journey to rediscover myself.
Well, don't go tricking off just yet, Paul.
Huh? What is it, detective?
There's just a little matter to be resolved about the chief prosecutor. You see, she isn't supposed to be out of jail like this.
But I thought you said it was okay.
Yeah, well, it might be okay with me, but the folks at the prison are a different story.
Huh?
Basically, I had to bribe a guard in order to sneak her out for 30 minutes. Believe me, it wasn't cheap either.
Huh? Way to go, detective! I didn't know you had a wild side.
Yeah, well, you see, Mr. Wright is the one who will be footing the bill.
Huh? Huh?
Well, you think I could afford it with my salary? You gotta be kidding me, Paul.
Thank you, Mr. Wright, you're the best. Why is it I suddenly feel like I want to scream?
Hey, I got an idea. Why don't we all go to pay
pay it off together.
Yeah, that's a great idea. Come on, guys, let's go.
Okej, czyli tym razem naprawdę skończyliśmy Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney?
I arranged for a friend. I hope he will be pleased to study under a top coroner. As for me, this affair has pretty much ended up days at the prosecutor's office. Still, I'll manage to find my way back to the field somehow. Then, I'll be able to investigate crimes together with Emma. Aha.
Planning Takaeshi Yamazaki. Design Kazuya Nuri. Yikes, I thought I was gone for a moment there. In the end though, we overlooked my unauthorized investigation of the chief's office. If we penalize you anymore, it'll be worse than firing you. Yep, that's what they say. It just goes to show you can't shake me off that easily. Cztery osoby pracowały nad grafiką w tej grze? O nie. My new mission is to guard the mine entrance and take the bill. Can you believe it? I've been demoted to a security guard. My partner's keeping an eye on the entrance for me today. I'll show them those. Someday I'm going to make a detective. Yes sir, then I can be just like that Dick Gumshoe. Dick. Może przejdziemy na Stellaris? Nie mam jeszcze zakupionego tego dodatku nowego do Stellaris. Muszę poczekać na wypłatę, czyli do przyszłego miesiąca, czyli nie chciałbym teraz ogrywać Stellaris, póki nie mam tego DLC nowego. O. What is it? Can't you see I'm having me a showdown with suspect? Miss Star managed to sneak this on me. She's the one of the guards in here. Well, cowboy, it looks like you did it. You even gave Bambina back her smile. Can you make sure Billy and the gang get their way? Water. Billy and the gang. Myślałem nad przejściem na Red Dead Redemption w tym momencie. Looks like we won't be seeing each other for a while. As a farewell gift, I put a new meal on the menu, the Wright Way Lunch. The top layer tastes a bit bitter as defeat, but the bottom is sweet as victory. Kids do seem to dig into this. Just make sure not to eat it backwards. Za szybko się zmieniają te zdania, nie jestem w stanie tak szybko czytać. Możliwe, że to przez to, że nie mam aż takiej wprawy w angielskim. I'll never forget what you... Let's see, what was his name again? Mr. Left? Anyway, he said he's been doing something or other for how many years? Well, anyway, I've got another trial to get to, so I better be... oh no, I forgot my gavel! Sorry, gotta go. CK2 łatwiej będzie zakończyć niż w połowie odcinka zrobić end. Może być i CK2. Oh. Nothing soothes the soul like fresh country air. Still, sometimes I do miss hearing you and your objection. Still, I can't go back until I'm a full-fledged spirit medium. Mystic Maya, afternoon training's about to begin. Coming. Well, see you around, Nick. Special funks. Oh. Mr. Edgeworth. Oh nie! Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, I brought you your tea. Huh? What's going on? Thanks for coming to see me off. I can't believe I'm going to Europe. Thank you, Mr. Wright. Thank you so much for everything. I'm a little sad, but I'll be alright. Whenever I want to see Lana, all I have to do is open this book. Muzyka w Stellaris jest super? No to na pewno. Z tym się zgodzę. Odblokowano osiągnięcie Rise from the Ashes, czyli zakończyliśmy tą 5. sprawę, tak? Capcom. Muzyka w każdej grze od Paradox Interactive jest super, ale jak chodzi o Stellaris, to Stellaris i w Crusader Kings. Tak, Crusader Kings. Chyba ma najlepszą muzykę. Okej, czyli teraz jakbym chciał zacząć następną grę, to po prostu klikam New Game i wybieram Justice for All. Okej. Dobra. W takim razie podziękuję tu za uwagę i zapraszam na następną przygodę w drugiej grze serii Phoenix Wright następnym razem.